And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. It is Tuesday, April the 13th.
It is.
Short night. Did it fly by?
This month is flying by. It seems like just yesterday it was April Fool's Day.
I know.
I mean, it's just like, and now it's 13, the 13th, so 12 days later. But anyway.
Big plans today, or is it a calm day?
I'm just working.
Just working,
Yeah,
just average
but it's
day?
a short day for me, so we got a ball game tonight, a baseball game for my little one. So
Here in Meridian area, where about?
yeah, they play out in the county.
I was gonna say.
It's the little West Lauderdale League, little league baseball. It's so funny watching them though. We had one, I think, the other night hit the ball and then went and fielded his own ball. He went and got it. He put his bat down after he hit it and went and got it. So,
Nothing quite like it, is it?
I know. It's
Now,
funny.
the Meridian area, you'll be fine. South of Meridian, you might not could have a ball game. There's possibly some severe weather going to move in southern Clark County as you get further down toward
Oh, really?
Hattiesburg area. It's going to be some rain tonight, and then we get that tomorrow.
We play about, I guess, 7 something tonight.
Yeah, you'll be fine here in the Meridian area. As we flip to look at severe weather for how it starts there, this is with, and that's not right. I hit the wrong button. This is it. This shows us starting tonight through tomorrow in these areas south of here, possibly, and then we look into tomorrow for flooding through Wednesday. It's going to be a bunch of it. Most of it, again, south of Meridian, but Clark County could get some. So we'll watch it closely and let you know how it turns out there. Back into the 80s today. Enjoy that because the temperatures will cool off for the next 4 to 5 days also.
Yes.
Getting some 40-degree weather before it's all said and done.
When are we going to be able to put up our long sleeves and jackets? And I guess nighttime will always kind of be cool, though, unless it's just midsummer when it's just smothery hot even in the
Yeah, after you get into
middle of the
mid-May,
night. Yeah.
you can hang it up. But at this point in time, keep a jacket in your vehicle because these
Right.
early mornings, if you leave at 6 a.m., it's 49, 50. You need a little
yeah.
something.
Yeah, I put my little one in shorts today because I knew it was going to warm up. But I don't know. I just at nighttime, I'm so cold natured anyway. Though I have to have a sweatshirt or something walking around in the house. I'm freezing. So
Get you a Snuggie.
that's what I need. Yeah.
Keep yourself warm. Let's see. There is so much going on across the nation. There's been shootouts. There's been deaths. There's no other way to word it. One of the first stories that is breaking this morning is this story here, and I didn't get this one. I got the normal, and you hadn't gotten one at all yet, have you?
I have not. I've just been kind of like watching and waiting and seeing,
And this
how
is one
people
of
are going to
those-
react to it. So,
This is blood clots, is what they're saying on this, isn't it?
from what I heard this morning, it was in women. This has happened. I'm not saying it can't happen in men, and I don't
Right.
think they said that either. But it's been found to cause blood clots in some women so far. So they've just halted it for right now. I guess till they can figure out why. But I know several people who have gotten the Johnson and Johnson one. So
That doesn't make you
kinda
feel
scary.
good at all
No,
to find that out now.
and it's just kind of scary. I don't understand vaccines, that much about. I mean, I know what they're for. But
You just
I
say
know
you're
they
not a
say
scientist.
Right, I'm not a scientist. But I know they say it's not the live virus. But it's so weird because it will cause you to have the symptoms just like the virus. And it can also, now it's causing stuff like, because the virus actually can cause blood clots.
It can.
So, I don't know.
It's
It's scary.
If you're going to get one, I would suggest going that other route.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants it. It's
A lot
not.
of people want to do the Johnson and Johnson because it's a one time, or not one time, but it's just one shot.
Yeah.
It's not like a 2-phase thing where you got to go get another shot. But anyway, I guess this is kind of where it pays to kind of
Somewhere.
hold off a little bit.
Yeah, somewhere in the news, and I got the story, and we'll have to find it here in a little bit. But there's a story out there to where Biden is trying to, who is after the Christians. They're focusing on NASCAR people, and they're trying to figure out where they are. Men is what they're after there to go get the shot because they're still at like 40% of not wanting to take the shot. The guys that watch NASCAR and CMT music. And so they've got a campaign ad focusing on those channels now to go get the vaccine.
I wonder why that is.
They don't trust it, I think.
Yeah.
It boils down to that of you don't always believe everything you see and read, I guess.
Right. Right.
And sometimes, as that Johnson & Johnson thing, it may have been best to have waited. But, boy, they sure pushed that one of being, go get it now.
Yeah.
It's quick, it's easy.
Well, all of it's been pushed, I think, And I know why. I mean, I know they want everybody to get vaccinated so we can cut down on this virus. And so far, it seems like it has helped.
Yeah, it has.
Which is a good thing. But I don't know. I just can't just do it just yet. I don't know. It makes me
we ain't
nervous.
going to hold it against you just yet.
Just makes me nervous, Scotty Ray.
A few folks stirring and saying some good mornings. Elmer Talbert is up. Good morning to you.
Mm-hmm. Milton Savelle, good morning.
Is that Lita Joe?
Lita Joe Horn.
Get out here,
says,
girl.
Good morning.
Donna Roseman is watching also.
Mm-hmm. Terry Carter, good morning to you. Polly Jackson says it's a beautiful day in Stonewall, and she wants everybody to have a great day. And it is a beautiful day out there right now. It's a little bit chilly, but it's really pretty.
I managed to get the 2 garbage cans down at the end of the driveway there for the garbage folks to show up today. It's always a good day when I remember to do that.
And isn't that bad when you don't?
Oh, yeah.
And then you got like a ton of stuff for the next week.
You
and
stuck
I mean, it's
with
like
it.
overflowing. I know. I know they hate to come get ours because, I mean, it's like, I feel like every day I change the garbage. Like,
You do.
it's like every single day.
And then, and for what it's worth, I'm not running anybody down. The hours that they've got over at that little dump there, it doesn't fit my schedule.
It doesn't. I don't think it fits anybody's schedule unless they just don't work at all, and then maybe you could go then. But like for people who work, it's closed. Like by the time
3:30, isn't it something?
it's an early time. I mean, even if it was 5 o'clock, most people don't get off till 5.
It's closed on Sundays, and it seemed like it had new hours on Saturday also.
It probably does. I don't know though.
And don't hold me to it. I'd have to go back and look at all of that.
I just don't understand why they don't leave it open a little later. I mean, people end up dumping stuff. Like, they close the gate.
Yeah.
So people dump all this kind of junk right outside of the gate. I don't think they're supposed to do that, obviously, but they do. So.
Yeah, you get there late, and they go, well, I got to do what I got to do, and they dump it. And
right.
then, of course, they take a backhoe or whatever it is and scoop it all in there the next day. But
I really wish it was a little further off the road. Had
You
like a
can't
parking
pull in.
lot or something, because somebody is going to get hurt there one day.
you
I
cannot.
mean, you can't.
Especially you take the folks that are out there trying to scrap metal. They get in the way, and then you try to back a trailer in there.
Right.
And it's and I like to saw a whooping. Me and my next door neighbor went over there last week, and it was a line to get in. 2 or 3 people on the side of the road pulled over, and this lady in front of me was waiting, and this guy whoops in the hole in front of her. And we could see her hands and her car start going.
yeah.
I thought, oh, golly, here she come out the car.
Throw down at the dump.
She jumped out. She jumped on that poor boy. And he come over and he apologized. I said, man, I understand how it could have happened. You didn't know. I mean, I guess we look like scrap metal people also.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and look, there ain't a thing wrong with you have scrap metal taking it down to the scrap yard, because I mean, that's extra money. I mean, who don't like extra money? But I've seen people sit down at the little Corps of Engineers place, a little parking lot where they weigh deer and all that down there. They'll sit down there and wait.
Yeah.
It's like they're waiting on somebody to come bring something that's of value.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get down there and get it. But I don't know. It's just a bad spot. It's not so bad if you're coming from like the reservoir area, because you kind of have a straightaway and you can see what's going on. But when you're coming from the other direction, you come around a curve and it's just right there. And if there's people in the road, somebody's going to end up getting hit.
Yeah, it does need to be bigger.
It does.
We need to let you talk to Mayad. Let you talk to him, Rush.
Who? Oh.
You can tell Rush all what he needs
Does
to
he
do.
deal with all that? Okay.
Well, I'm not sure if that's actually his
Might
job.
be like
He's
a
over
Josh
the road.
Todd. He's the supervisor.
Oh yeah, boy, we can carry on with Josh.
Yeah. So, anyway, I worried that somebody is going to get hurt. Though,
And it could.
But anyway, let's hope they don't.
Let's see. Good morning to Joyce Poole. Glad to have you here. Also, Charlene Gaddy is stirring again.
Let's see where are we at, because I've lost my
Les.
spot.
Right
Les
there.
Alexander. That's my daughter's father-in-law. He says it makes him nervous as well, talking about the vaccine.
Oh, I thought he was talking about women. I was going to say it makes me nervous too talking about them. I was in there with you.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. Damon Reagan says it's amazing how much garbage one family can produce, and you're not kidding.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm serious. Like, ours is just crazy. Of course, I have a garbage can. You can put a milk carton and something else in, and it's just about full. I've got to get a bigger garbage can. But
we got that double thing where you pull it out and then you try to mash it down. And
yeah.
I make like 6, 7, 8 cups of coffee today, my little Keurig thing, and I have to dump it in the garbage can. And you can't do that if it's almost all the way to the top. And I apparently am the only one in this household that knows how to pull a liner out and it's amazing. I mean,
pull a liner out. What
yeah,
do you mean?
you pull the trash bag up and you pull those 2 strings together. Nobody else can do that here.
Why?
I don't know. They don't know how.
Huh.
It's amazing.
Oh, goodness.
Good morning to Pam Keller. Thank you for watching. Also, Casey Culpepper. Good morning. The Hub will have a community cleanup next weekend. We'll send more information. Okay. Let us know about that.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody said it's better now. Used to folks would rush your vehicle trying to get the scrap off your vehicle. I remember making them put stuff back because they just grab stuff off my truck.
That is true.
Yeah. There will be people there who will of course, I welcomed it that time. We had a trailer full of stuff and they were up there trying to help us get it all off because I was just ready to get it off and get out of there, But
no, but I know what Damon's talking about. You could back up and you couldn't even get it in park, and there was 4 people all over your truck.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's overbearing right there. You should step back.
But it's an issue, and I don't mind anybody getting it.
Look, this beats all right here.
What's that?
Somebody had put a recliner out one time.
And you liked it?
No,
Okay.
So anyway, we drive by, and there is a man and a woman kicked back in it. Okay, they're at the dump. They're sitting in the recliner with it raised, the feet raised, everything. It worked, obviously. Somebody put a good working recliner out there. And they just took right to it, and they just relaxing, waiting on somebody to bring some more stuff. So, to each his own, but I don't think I'd be kicked back at the dump in the recliner.
Most people will put the good stuff up toward the front for somebody to grab.
Right.
For the most part there. But boy, them scrap metal people, woo-hoo.
Yeah, they mean business.
See, she got the recliner. Tell the truth. Go ahead, tell the truth.
No, I did not. I'm so, no, I didn't. Now, I'm not going to tell you that if there was a cute little antique table sitting out there or something that somebody just threw away, that I wouldn't get it and go, refurbish it.
I don't know. If there's a chair that I can use for a deer stand, I'm all over it.
Yeah, something like that. But no, I ain't taking no furniture home, no recliners and all that. Because my thing is, there's a reason it's there, especially if it's working. It could have some bugs up in it or something.
Well, I got another good friend that she's got a husband that he just chunks stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. They don't feel like messing with selling it, and they just if they get something new, they just take it off and haul it out. Which is, somebody, if it's good stuff and they want to do something like that, they'll get it and use it. But I just ain't a dump person. I don't like that. If I see a little table or something, I might do something like that.
I had an uncle one time told me, he said when they were little and went to the dump, sometimes they forgot to even take their own trash.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was an outing.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's see other things this caused a little bit of a stir last night, and I understand why. NCAA is threatening Mississippi once again. They may pull the championship events from our state over the transgender legislation. Aren't we tired of sports getting into politics?
I am. I'm so tired of it. I am so tired of it.
They told us that once the flag would change, there'd be so many jobs in Mississippi that it probably wouldn't even be any reason to get out of bed. Land values would go up. Has anybody noticed that?
I ain't noticed anything.
Okay. I was just checking.
To me, that was just a doorway to open up Pandora's box for other stuff. It ain't gonna stop there. That's what I said. When you do one thing and give in, now another group's gonna be complaining.
Well,
I don't know.
At some point, there's going to be a group, and and they put that on that current flag, "God We Trust," but that's going to make another group mad.
Yeah.
And there's going to be pressure toward the governor's office. It may not be this governor. It may be another governor on down the road. And they're going to put pressure. And we're going to stop doing football games here and this and that if you don't take "In God We Trust" off. Yeah. And then Mississippi, again, will be the last state with that on there. And what's going to happen? Show who you are.
Yeah. Well, it don't matter. It don't matter if they did allow transgender stuff. Okay? If they did, then some woman's going to get hurt getting tackled by a football player, and then they're going to complain. I'm just so tired of all this mess.
It is.
I'm tired of it.
And, speaking of you're tired of it, let's go to this next story. I just posted this just a second ago. And there is no way these two little girls come up with this plan by themselves. It was a mama, it was an aunt, somebody involved. But here's the headline story. And this is in Indiana. Supposedly these two little girls are going down the road, and they look out and they see a men working sign, and they go, Mama, why would it say that? Well, that's offensive, isn't it? I mean, I get offended every time I read a sign that says men working. I do.
This mess right here offends me. So, I mean, this is offensive to me. I mean, we can't even let our kids grow up in like a world where we grew up and it wasn't a thing wrong with stuff. It's just like people want to complain about every little thing. Every little thing. Let's just accommodate everybody.
Now, I don't know where. I've never been to Carmel, Indiana. This is a story from Good Morning America. And after they dug into the story here, it's been illegal in this town since 1988 to display this sign. And this was a contractor. So they're going to moving forward, and they're retiring the signs, and they gave that sign to those little girls there to keep as memento of them discovering that it was offensive.
I guess the group Men at Work's just messed up for life now.
They are. Now that
there's a group.
I forgot about them.
Men at Work.
I think they were Australian.
Well, they're going to have to change their name. I don't know.
They couldn't sing, but they tried.
I guess they're going to change their name if they're still out there doing anything.
It floors me of the way things are now.
I mean, it's never going to stop until somebody takes a stand and goes, look, get over it. You know, just let's move on to some like major important things besides somebody getting offended by a man working sign.
Now,
let's don't put anything out there and let's just let you run off in the manhole. How about that?
Yeah, that could happen.
You know, let's just do that.
Now, I read the story twice.
They need a sign that says "Take your chances." That's what they need.
So, what do you put up if you don't put men working? How do you word it? How do you say it?
I guess they want men and women working. You know, stop signs they'll be. People don't want to stop. You're offending them. Don't put up a stop sign.
Yeah, I remember back in the early, late 80s, 90s, when it became offensive to say salesman and then become a salesperson, which I can live with that one. But boy, it started there, and look where we are now.
I'm gonna tell you what, for people that get offended by this, or somebody saying salesman instead of saleswoman.
You can call me a saleswoman; it'd be okay. It's all right.
I mean, you sitting there all day thinking about what you can just.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I got other things to worry about besides little things like that.
You know, and which brings up a good point. As we're bickering and fighting over stuff like this in America, there's children getting hurt. We've got people jumping our borders. We got people robbing elderly people in America, not with guns, with their fists, with baseball bats.
We got people giving homeless people yesterday was poisoning them and watching them die on the street because they think that's entertaining to them, and they're videoing it. I mean, you got stuff like that. Get up and take a stand about that.
Yeah. Do something that is good to mankind. That's what worries me in life.
Right. I mean, and kids not being back in school. Kids being at home. They're a whole year behind now. Parents, I mean, if I was going to be a teacher, that's what I'd have went to school to be. I'll just tell you, if I have to do it, I will. But I'm just not good at that. That's one thing.
Not your forte.
It's not my thing. It's not good at it. And if I had to do it all the time, I feel for these parents that have to do it constantly. You know, and you might want to say, people might say, oh, well, they got to do it. I mean, they can't come back to school. But these kids are not getting what they need. Like, I'll do my best, but I'm not a teacher.
Let's throw this in there. You take the parent who works 10 to 14 hours a day.
Right.
And both parents are working.
And so the
Who's
kids
there to help the child?
Well, a lot of times, I've seen like on our virtual days, parents go on to work. Kids go to a daycare. They try to do it when they get home at night. Whatever they have to do, it's done when they get home.
Which tells you they're not getting the absolute most attention that they should with
So
school.
you're probably throwing it all in at one time at night when you get home, trying to just get it done, to turn it in. I don't know.
Linda Jane tells us that the sign should say somebody's working.
Okay.
Hey, maybe we need to have another state contest for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, then they'd complain, Linda Jane, about it's not, detailed as to what they're working on.
Yeah.
Somebody would complain. It don't matter.
All I remember is the mosquito made it into the top 10 flags. Y'all remember that? A mosquito.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, yesterday, this was a tragedy. And I brought this up to Candace a while ago. Have you noticed over the last 3 to 4 months, now this has been going on since time. Right. People get shot every day. But have y'all noticed that the news media is paying it, it's in the news. No matter where I go now, there's somebody shot, and that's the big headline on any city that I go to now.
Right.
It's bad.
Really spotlighted, you know.
Other crimes not so much mentioned, but any type that deals with a gun is highlighted. Now, I'm not saying that some of these need to be there. I'm just saying I think nationwide there's like a underlying message to news media to highlight this for an agenda later.
Has Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, have they even gone to the border yet?
No.
Okay.
This is like day 20 that she has, neither one of them.
That's a major, now, I'm not saying this is not an issue either,
right.
But that's a major issue, okay? Kids are getting raped and killed, and so are, like, grown-ups, too. I mean, stuff's happening. It's a crisis. They've not yet even went down there to even address it in person. But they've had news conferences about this, or a press conference the other day. I think he was talking about the gun control and what he was going to do on an executive order and all this kind of stuff. I just feel like it's just like I said the other day. I mean, like, when you don't want everybody keeping on about a certain subject, you're going to deter it over here.
Correct.
You know, to it. You're going to,
a little smoke screen, so to speak.
Right. So, and two, you know, they want to get rid of guns. You know, that's the main goal. So this is an awful thing that happened. I am not trying to minimize anything about
and the
that,
news story this morning, and I posted this also this morning. This was Nashville, Tennessee yesterday in a parking lot where people were shopping. A little girl that was 3 years old was killed, and her 2-year-old sister was hit with a bullet as, I don't know whether the word is gang, but a group of people got into a shootout with each other, and these two children, one was killed, one was injured there for no reason. They're investigating it. They haven't arrested anyone yet. They've got pictures from cameras across the street as they try to figure out who's responsible for the death of this little toddler.
I mean,
horrible.
I think if you want to really control the gun issue, do something about the gang issue.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Because even if they were to take the everyday American citizen who is trying to do what they're supposed to do, to own guns.
They take that away from them.
If they take that away from the gangs are still going to have them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't control the gangs throwing bricks through windows, you think you're going to go get their gun? No. You think they're going to bring it to you willingly? No, they're not. So do something about the gang issues all over this country.
I agree.
You know, that should be first and foremost, I think.
Now, I wanted to address something that happened at the end of yesterday's show. And for a lot of people, you may have gone, I don't know what you're talking about. This is now not just only on Facebook, it's broadcast in 3 or 4 different locations to where what you see on Facebook, what people type, y'all can see. If it's on a network, another platform, you can't read it.
Right.
And then in front of us now, all of it's together. It puts it together so we can read whoever it is that sends us a message, and we can answer back while we're talking live. Yeah. Unlike when I first started, where you'd say something to take me 35 minutes to catch on that you commented.
Right.
But a very, very ugly comment was made about Candace yesterday.
Vulgar,
let's
nasty.
just say sexual. It was just beyond disgusting for a man to say that. What was said to Candace, and she didn't catch it.
Thank goodness.
She would have lost it.
I bet Scotty Ray was sweating bullets over
I was
thinking, oh Lord, she's fixing to read that. I didn't catch it, which is probably a good thing, you know.
But it was 2 comments on that, and then went into something else trying to provoke her to talk about it, and it was just wrong. And so if you wondered why Candace made the comment about, and I'll let you explain.
Well, I saw one of the comments, and to me it just was more smart alecky. And then they said, no, it was on Fox News, and so because it was something about Bill Gates and blah blah blah, and so I was just like, I called it kind of bogus, and so then when they said no, it's not bogus, it was on Fox News, they reported it. So I thought, well, maybe I need to go back and apologize because I called somebody's comment bogus, but I had not seen the prior comments, to this that were ugly. So it's a good thing I didn't. But anyway, Scotty Ray kind of stopped me and told me that they were inappropriate comments, and so that's when I said some of these people need prayer. This making these comments. I didn't want y'all to think that the people who make everyday comments to us, that
Right.
good morning, how are y'all? We like watching it. You know, we appreciate y'all, and we appreciate everybody watching. And that I was not talking about y'all. Of course, all of us need prayer.
Yes, we do.
But
That one needs a little extra.
yeah, I got a little worked up. So, and I just said, you know, we do try to keep. I mean, we'll joke around about some stuff every now and then, but all in all, we try to keep it a clean, you know,
Yeah.
Christian based show. And for people who have comments any less than appropriate, I just said, you know, keep them to yourself. I mean, they don't belong on here.
I've always had the philosophy: if your mama and your preacher can't watch it while you do something, you don't need to be doing it.
Yeah. So,
And that's been my career.
Right.
And I will never change that.
right. Now, we do give our opinions, and we probably give our opinions a little too much, but everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't mind hearing everybody's opinion. I just think if it's not an appropriate stated way,
That's correct.
you know, everybody can have a little class about themselves, you know.
Yeah.
So,
That was very
anyway.
unclassy, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but that's what we were talking about. I didn't want anybody,
yeah.
you know, to think I was trying to be ugly or anything, because I really wasn't. But
Now we got that cat out of the bag.
Right.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
So as we turn to talk about, well, we all do this from time to time, and you want to deal with folks that are honest, that you trust. Snowden and Company Real Estate is the place right here. Amanda, she's locally. She's got a great business here in Meridian, located on Poplar Springs Drive, and she specializes in, well, getting you the most for your home and also finding you a home.
that's right. And a lot of people, especially, well, there's people who have just gotten married. They need a starter home.
You're right.
She can help you with that. Or there's people who the kids have moved out. They want to downsize, and they need a, you know, forever home from now on, you know.
And if it's time to sell, let her talk to you about it.
Right.
Come out and look at your home and tell you what it's worth. She'll do some comparisons there. A great marketing strategy for you. She'll do what others don't do. Professionally, quality of pictures that everybody can, because it's all about the picture. If you don't do a good
Right.
picture, you ain't getting rid of anything.
That's right.
And they want to display your home in the best way it can be done.
And if you get ready to sell your home, like Scotty Ray, you know, we were talking about, I mean, you might not know what your home is worth.
That's
and
right.
you don't want to just throw a price on it out there and shortchange yourself. I mean, you know, it might be worth a lot more than you think.
This is probably, in most of our lives, the biggest single investment you will ever make. I know you've
Right.
heard that and then that wedding ring. That's the second one. But they specialize homes that are in Lauderdale, Kemper, Newton, Neshoba, Clark County. If you're anywhere in that area, talk to Amanda before you do anything. That's a few homes that they've got up for sale. Backyards with swimming pools. You can use that as a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Let them show you the key to your future at Snowden Real Estate. 453-3937. This is Amanda. This is who you look for, and she's got a great sales staff that work with her. She is a designated seller representative, certified real estate negotiating expert. It takes a little bit of all of that to get it done, and she will make sure that it is the smoothest transition that you do.
Right. And it's people you can trust, and that's what really means everything.
Yeah, it
you know,
is.
When you can, you know, put your home in hands, you know, of people that you can trust.
Because I don't know the last home you bought, but there's a stack of papers about yay high nowadays that you have to sign. She'll go through all those, make sure you know what you're signing.
Yeah.
Because it does get confusing, let me tell you. Let's see. Last night, more went on in Minneapolis, and this is not going to get better overnight. Tear gas broke out last night as protesters took to the street. They defied that 7 p.m. curfew that was put out. And as you go through the pictures of what's going on,
Now, this is about the police officer who grabbed, you know, yesterday you said, I don't know why she just didn't tase him. She thought she was grabbing her taser, supposedly thought she was grabbing her taser, and grabbed her gun, which is horrible. But
and this is, she worked for the police department, it says 25 years. And, you know, and here she is. It's you hear her in the video going, taser, taser.
right.
And then the shot is fired, and she goes, oh, my gosh, she said another word.
Yeah, and supposedly the tasers, I mean, by certain rules, goes on one side, a specific side, and the gun goes on the other side, and she grabbed the wrong thing. It's horrible because, I mean, you know that her career
It's
is
over.
probably over.
And
you
her
know?
life could be over.
Yeah. So it's,
Now, as you get into this also, the deeper in this, and I don't know if I can find the story real quick, but let's see here. Let me just flip here a second and see if I can run up on it. It is the story of the guy that is like the head of the town, kind of like somebody is the representative of the town. He's not the mayor. He's the guy that handles all the business. I'll find it in a minute. It'll come up. But he goes, hey, we need to let this investigation follow through before you fire anybody or do it. And they fired him.
Well, they're trying to get the police chief fired too, because he said the same thing. Everybody should have due process.
Yeah, that's it. That's the line that was used.
That's right. So it's a horrible thing, because from what I understand, the boy was not resisting arrest or anything, was he?
Yes.
He was resisting
They
arrest?
had him in handcuffs behind his back, and he shook loose and he jumped in the car to run.
Okay. Well, then strike
And
what
then
I said.
that's where it
Okay. But
it
still,
got ugly.
it's a horrible thing. It's an awful thing.
As you look at this is what's the aftermath.
Yeah, I don't understand the looting and the
this
chaos.
has nothing to do with somebody losing their life.
I just don't.
But they go through and they steal. They use others' misfortune as a way to take what they want.
Right.
And that should not do it. There's nothing wrong with protest in America. It's a good, healthy system to speak your voice. Freedom of speech, we've always had it. But boy, have things gotten out of hand.
They have gotten out of hand. It's, I don't know.
I was
People
looking.
don't try to talk things out anymore. And I know this is like a horrible thing that happened, and people are very upset about it. But I don't know. People don't try to talk things out anymore, or work through things and let things. Just tearing up towns and burning things down and hurting people. They said that they were throwing frozen, frozen like drinks like this. They were freezing them and hitting people in the head with them, and they were throwing concrete blocks and all kind of stuff.
As you go to this, Biden did speak out on this, and I'll commend him for doing that, of saying that everybody needs to be calm and take this a step at a time.
But don't you think he should have said that a long time ago when all this looting and stuff was happening?
Oh, when he was running for president, he should have.
Right. There was never anything said about it.
See, here's
the vice president was, to me, encouraging it by saying they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop.
This is him where he was getting handcuffed, and as you see, he tries to run, and he's trying to drive off.
Okay.
Could all of this been prevented had he just followed the rules of the police, and it escalated into something else horribly that went wrong? But I don't have the answers for everything for sure. But that is one of the biggest news stories across America this morning. Not going away. I expect this to get worse over the next 3 to 4 nights.
Yeah. It's just a lot going on. Got that going on, and we have the George Floyd thing going on at the same time, and I don't know.
Now, this is not good news. I don't see where this could. Biden has nominated an anti-Trump police chief to head the border agency when we've already got major problems at the border. And if he's one of those that disliked him, then it's not going to get better. They're going to let more in. More are going to pile up at that gate. 19,000 children in a month dumped. What part about that is good? We'll watch that also. That's one of those stories that I don't see getting better for 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Not the way the houses and everything is set up right now. This went on, and this was a breaking story yesterday of a Georgia more or less shootout, high-speed chase. I don't know if everyone saw this or not. He was 28 years old. He was killed. His brother was injured after a 111-mile-an-hour police chase across Georgia, which left 3 of the cops wounded as well. It ended in tragedy for the older brother. But you see this every day now.
Yeah.
We hate that, but that was a scene. And then we'll get to Knoxville in just a little bit of what went on in Knoxville, Tennessee yesterday.
Goodness.
I don't. I know. Now
I'm like, it's like doom and gloom.
It is.
It's just like, gosh.
It,
a happy story.
I've been looking for happy stories, but they're not there.
I know.
I wish like a Anne Murray song. A little good news today.
Yeah, y'all got any happy announcements? We want to hear them.
It would be good. Hey, there is going to be a food distribution on Wednesday.
Yes. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a positive thing.
From the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. That is good news. Oh, let's see here. Other news this morning. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is somebody crying wolf. I mean, the Capitol being overrun was not good by any means, but by no means in my mind was it overpowered with guns. I didn't see that. It had people that pushed against the door and got inside, but they were not toting guns and they didn't shoot people or anything like that.
Right.
A Democratic congressman is saying that he has PTSD after the riots and has to seek therapy now. Your leaders are supposed to be strong. You know, like if you were on a battlefield, you would need somebody that was a leader, and he's in that place. And
I guess you don't know how things are going to affect you, but I mean, this is just a little. I'm sure it scared everybody to death. You know, when all the people were coming in, I'm sure they were scared. But you know,
and he may have issues. I don't know. That's
yeah.
Dan.
I mean, I'm not saying he don't have issues. I know people that's got. You know, somebody can get killed that they know and they have PTSD from that, or military people from being in war.
Yeah.
And I understand that, you know, fully. But
this is almost like two different scenarios.
Right.
I don't know.
But I mean, why you got to put that in the news? Like, why couldn't that be a personal problem and go deal with it?
Yeah.
You know?
That's headlines everywhere
That's
this
just
week.
like putting it in there for the politic part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's news, but I don't know. If I had PTSD, I don't think I'd need to announce it to the world. You know.
And you know, here's the next story of this as things as we continue on our spiral of stories that are not inspiring this morning.
Yeah.
We continue with the trial of Derek Chauvin that is going on. There is absolutely no way with testimony coming out that he's getting out of this. Each day there's more and more of the cards stacking up against him. Now the question I think at this point everybody needs to be looking at, what will he get? Will it be life in prison, or will it do? And I'm not sure about this state if they death penalty. Could they do that to this cop for what he done? Nonetheless, I think he'll spend the rest of his days behind bars.
I think. Well, I mean, I think we both know that if he goes behind bars, it's going to have to be like a protected.
He wouldn't make it a week.
No.
It's like a child molester that goes to
Right.
prison.
I mean,
they don't make it.
Yeah, I would hate to know what happened, but goodness.
Yeah,
But you know, I feel like, and it's somebody pointed this out yesterday. It was in the news that I was listening to. They were saying that, you know, when Biden went into office, they were going to be the most uniting. They were going to unite everybody. They wanted everybody to come together, and they wanted it. That has been the total opposite that I have seen. It's been the most divisive administration that I have ever witnessed in my living days. Seriously. It's constant talking about racism and constantly talking about, and it's like they feed off of it too.
Want a wedge.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying that at
all.
all.
It does everywhere.
Right, and I believe it exists in all races, not just one. But I mean, would you not? I just don't understand. It's like they constantly do things and say things to make people more divided, and instead of bringing people together. I mean, I never hear them talk about prayer at all. Never.
No,
Never.
they didn't even bring it up on Easter. And if you don't bring up Jesus on Easter, there's a major problem.
No, it's like they want to bring up God when they're politicking, but when you get into office, you never hear the word again.
No, you don't.
You know, so, but there's been a lot of stuff that that he ran for the office of president saying that have not even come to play. I mean, you know, he's done a total opposite of it, you know, so from day one. So I don't know, you get what you vote for. So.
Yep, he has to make it one more year before she can take over.
Yeah.
Things are still heating up for old Matt there. They said that he used the Tiger King of tax collectors to solicit.
Solicited, yeah.
Yeah, ladies. He still claims he's innocent. That's
Good
the guy
Lord.
there.
Yeah,
He's not liked by the other party. He may be guilty. I don't know.
yeah.
But something about him is in the news every day in these scandals that are going on. One day we'll find out the real truth of that matter. One step closer to war in Ukraine. I don't know if everybody's keeping up with this, and he knows that he can push, Putin knows that he can push Biden. He's seeing how far he can push him.
It's like a game. It's like they're playing this game. And I even listened last night. It was military man, he was talking about how we're getting closer to China, like going to war with us. I mean, this is not a game. I mean, but they're acting like it's just nothing wrong, and.
But they learned quickly within the first few days of Trump being in office, they couldn't push him around because he took action.
Yeah.
And he was a man of few words when it come to that. He took action and then told them about it later. And they knew that if they'd done something, he would. Joe, we'll see if he draws a line in the sand and then backs up 25 feet.
Yeah.
We don't know. But expect a war before he leaves office. I would expect one because contractors need to feed off of this and make money. And there's so many of them. There's so much politics behind all this stuff of making money in contracts. And you hate to even say something like that. We shouldn't have to.
Well, and I know it's awful to say, but or it sounds like I'm trying to get everybody worked up. I'm not. But instead of complaining about words people are saying to you or signs that being on the side of the road, you better be preparing you and your family for something that's going to go down, because it ain't going to be good,
Right.
in the near future. The way things are looking. I mean, and all the time I talk to people about, did you hear, what's going on? And people are so not aware of what is going on with everything, with all the stuff about China and Russia. They don't listen to it. They go, oh, I don't even pay attention to all that. That's the ones to me that are going to be blindsided by all of this when something does happen. And of course, I feel like I got a magnifying glass on everything looking at it because my son joined the military, and it worries me. It worries me that we're going to get involved in something, and then I don't know. But anyway, I pray that things turn around some kind of way. I just pray they do. So,
we all do. As we look at this, the City of Meridian will have community cleanup. That's going to be National Volunteer Week, the week of April 18th through the 24th. So if you can get involved and help out in some way, I'm sure that they would certainly appreciate it. And I'll dig into that a little bit more here in a second and see what else we can find. More information on that. So that's coming there to the City of Meridian. Here's the schedule. I got it now. Look how quick that was.
Yeah.
Getting better at that. Monday, April the 19th, North Hills Street, the morning shift. As you go down through here, the April the 20th, 10th Avenue area, and it goes on down through there. And we'll post this on the page to where if you'd like to help out and do something for the community.
I think that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, and helping others. And that's, like there's several churches that do the Love Out Loud here in the area.
Yeah.
A really good deal. Helps a lot of people there.
It says they're giving away free T-shirts for everybody that signs up, too, so you need to go.
See here. I missed that part there.
Yeah, just
free T-shirts, yeah.
For all who sign up and participate, you get a free T-shirt.
And it's got all of this where you can, how long it'll last.
Now, who do they need to contact?
That's a good question.
I'm sure that
I'm sure East Mississippi Hub.
Okay.
You can go here. This is on Facebook.
Okay.
And go there and find out more information of who to talk to. That's what I'm thinking.
And over here it says Volunteer Mississippi, so it might be under that also.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And we'll pass more information on about that as we get that and put it up for you to help out. Always start, you have to start in your own backyard to help others nationwide. And let's do that here. Let's see here. What else is stirring today? And you told me not to do any more bad stories.
Gosh.
Maybe I just need to skip it and go on to a better story out there. It's just sadness.
Well, I mean, people are just...
They're crazy, and this is I
think you should do it because these children need... I mean, they need to have that put out there.
Children locked in an attic for 2 years,
I guess somebody needs to be
Candace.
their voice.
A grandmother and the parents locked them in a cage in the attic. They were beat. I just...
They were beat, starved, and forced the cat to scratch them. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I mean, an eye for an eye. I think the parents and the grandparents, they need to put them upstairs up in the attic for a little while.
This was in Pennsylvania is where this all went down. And again, it's just one headline after another. And where does all this start? Fixing it with family.
I just don't understand. These poor kids, I feel like they ain't got a chance growing up in this world right now.
All right, let's turn to a subject that Candace knows a whole lot about, and I'm going to ask you your opinion of this. Surveys sometimes are all made up, and I just I don't believe everything that is out there. But it says that women with gray hair are seen as less competent. Is there any truth to that?
I think that's a bunch of bull.
So a lot of folks find it, well, kind of sexy.
Look, there's a lot of people letting their hair grow, and I'm gonna tell you, I got plenty of gray. I think I'm pretty competent myself, but I don't let. I mean, some people want to let their hair grow out gray. I think it's beautiful, and I don't see where they can say they're less competent. That is just crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure I think they do surveys to make us mad sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's probably, it could. I don't even know. I mean, they might want people to buy more hair color. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Who funded that?
Well, yeah, I need to dig into this. It
the
says
hair color companies.
Yeah. A survey of 80 members of Facebook groups where women embraced their gray hair revealed a conflict between the artistic and whatever that is.
Authentic aesthetic.
Yeah, I couldn't pronounce
and
aesthetic.
being seen as competent.
So it's Facebook groups. There you go.
Right. Some people say it's letting themselves go, like they don't care anymore. I don't think that's it. I mean, I do hair for a living, and I color people's hair. It is not cheap to get your hair colored, I will say. And yes, I mean, I would hate for everybody to quit coloring their hair, but I'm not going to bash them for it, because that's money in my pocket when somebody comes and gets their hair colored. But if people want to embrace their gray and go gray, I say go for it.
What was that George Strait song? She let herself go?
Yeah. Now, if you don't bathe every day, that might be letting yourself go a little bit.
You've all worked with somebody like that. You know what I'm talking about. They're out there.
Take a bath and brush your teeth. 2
important factors in life every day that you should do.
Right.
Do you remember the guy Gary Hart that ran for president? We were little.
I do remember that.
We were itty bitty, probably 9, 10 years old, somewhere along in there. His wife has finally passed away. If you remember, he was running for president, and they came out with his indiscretions affair. His wife, who died, I believe it was this week, 85 years young. She stuck with him. She was a stand by your man kind of woman. That was her.
I do remember him, though.
And that must be the mistress. Well, we better not look at her. But that is one of the headlines today. It's sad for her to have passed away. Let's see here. And we all remember, it was 2004. That was back when I still watched football.
Yeah.
And you'd watch that halftime show because it was supposed to be the most spectacular show that there ever was. And I think we all knew this at the time, that there was more behind this and it wasn't an accident.
Like a planned thing. Yeah.
And it turns out that's exactly what it was. Justin Timberlake. They insisted on doing something that was bigger than Britney Spears. You remember when they done that big kiss?
Madonna and Britney Spears. Yeah.
He wanted to outdo that. And so they sparked that plan there to rip that off and show her bosoms up on national television, like any of us really wanted to see that.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing it proved is that her and Michael were not the same.
Yeah.
I walked away with that night and said, But that was national television. And
the things people do for money.
Yeah, money and fame.
And like fame, yeah.
What you've got to remember is there's young children watching. And when you do something like that, you may not pay for it right then.
Can you imagine when she's like 85, 90 years old and she's sitting there with one of her friends? Hey, Janet, you remember that time you were up on the stage?
Yeah.
You flashed everybody. I mean, really? Is that what you want to be remembered for? I mean, because I don't even remember. I mean, seriously, like, I don't think about anything else she sung or any other videos she did.
It.
That's the first thing that comes to mind, like when, it does. So I don't know.
That's your legacy, so to speak. And I didn't watch the Video Music Awards. This is the Madonna thing that he was trying to outdo. These two kissing, and why, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess it made them a lot of money also. And we'll quit looking at those pictures because the further you go down, the more explicit they get.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone.
I did see this, though, about Luke Bryan.
Yeah, it turns out that, the survey says he's got 2 cases of, number 1, he can't sing country music, and number 2,
Scotty Ray.
He's awful. It is not traditional country music.
Yeah. I think he's okay. I think he's. I mean, he's. You know.
Okay.
I mean,
just none of my friends wear designer blue jeans with little things on the pockets.
Oh, I know.
Any of that, or wear a man purse.
Does he wear a man purse?
I've seen him with man purses in pictures.
Okay.
He's got COVID. They tested him, but and I tried. The only song that I've ever really related to is "All My Friends Say." The rest of the songs I'll listen to, and the key to a country song is being able to place yourself in that song. And I listen to him and I go, I don't believe you.
I hate that about the boots.
The boots.
The newest one, that Nike boot.
I don't know.
Drives me insane.
He's got something called boots.
It's called knocking boots. So I mean, you can imagine it's what it's about. But
knocking boots.
You just have to listen to it. I hate that song.
I have to check that out. But
I don't mind Luke Bryan. I mean, I think and I've watched was it his sister that passed away, or somebody passed away, a brother passed, or maybe he had two siblings that's passed away, but he's raising his nephews, maybe a niece, some of his siblings' children. He's raising them, because I want to say maybe it was his sister.
Well, that's commendable of him.
He and his wife are raising them. So, I mean, I do commend him. I think he might not be the best singer in the world.
Well, I think he's pop. I don't think that's my problem. He's probably pretty good at being a pop singer, but he is just not a country role model for me.
A lot of people like him. I don't think he is the best singer in the world. Obviously, there's people who, to me, sing.
Now, if you want a song about boots, look up Eric Church, These Boots. I mean, he talks about Tupelo, Mississippi, and being arrested wearing them boots, where he tried to get away, but he just could not outrun the cops. But good stuff.
Yeah.
But, he's got COVID. He's been tested.
He's sick, though. I hope he goes through it okay.
But what they watched was the success of Blake Shelton being on a show as being a judge. And, of course, he is one also now on another show.
American Idol.
Yeah, and I don't watch it. But
it's he and Katy Perry and Lionel Richie.
I like Lionel Richie.
Yeah, I do, too. And he's
easy
all-time.
like Sunday morning.
Yeah, he's an all-time classic.
He is.
Yeah, he is. And I've only seen him be ugly one time. I've never seen Lionel Richie be ugly except for one time.
Did he get mad?
He was this guy come walking in on American Idol to sing, and he was real cocky, like just real cocky and rude, and like Lionel Richie just come out and said, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't like you.
But
I thought, well, okay.
But you're saying he was truthful and he had grounds for what he done.
Right, yeah. But I've never seen him be ugly like that. I've always just seen him be real upbeat and positive and smiling. And
Well, how would you like to be the only one in America that Lionel Richie was ugly to?
Oh, I know.
Think about that for a minute.
Really. Anyway, the guy ended up, I think they chose him to come on through or something. Anyway, and gave him a chance. And I think,
they made up.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I mean, the guy just walked on in, real cocky attitude, which is the wrong thing to do.
It's all about, you can be the best at what you do. It doesn't matter if you're a singer, you're a plumber, you're a cashier. If you're nice to people with what you do.
Yeah, and first impressions mean everything,
But, think about this, convenience stores that you go into. A lot of people, as a kid, growing up, I worked at Taylor's Pack-A-Sect. I worked at Bailey's Grocery.
Yeah.
People will drive 10 miles out of the way. If you're good to them, when they come in, you know their name, and you know that they're going to get a Coke, and you have it waiting on the counter when they come in, or whatever it is that they buy. People will drive because you're nice and pay more for good hospitality.
That's what I've always tried to say. And to my kids, be good to people. Like, don't just come out and be ugly right out of the gate, to somebody. I mean, be good to them, because how you treat people is going to define, that's going to be a definition of who you are.
There you go.
It is.
I'm not going to call anybody out, but we just had somebody say that their ex did not take a bath.
That's why I was laughing. I saw that while ago. I was like, oh, Lord. We're not going to ask who they are. Some people might know.
I guess there wasn't no kissing on the neck going on there, was it?
I don't understand when people don't bathe. I'll buy you some soap. If you ain't got any soap, just give me a call. I'll buy you some soap.
And speaking of, if for whatever reason your water isn't working and you can't bathe, here's the guy to talk to, Master Flow Plumbing.
That's right. When your drains don't work, they will.
There you go. All of this works from the Hattiesburg area south to the coast. If you're anywhere from here to Gulfport, they'll take care of you there. They handle anything that might be going on with your plumbing, as in even climbing under your house, digging it out. You've got a concrete slab, it does not matter. They'll fix it. They'll put it back to where it works again. Piping, if you need a whole line run to your home outside where there's a water line, or if it's, the sewer that's busted, cracked, wore out, they do all of that for you.
Yeah. And your faucets, sometimes they don't work right.
Oh, yeah, they've got plenty of this.
They'll leak and all that kind of stuff. They can fix all that for you.
Water line replacements, as you look at it, this is the big concern that does happen to homes, to where a piece of it busts inside the concrete. This was before PEC pipe.
Right.
And all of this old rusty lines will crack in concrete. They can fix that, reroute the lines, put it back. You won't even know that it ever happened again.
And, the moisture thing, that can lead to other things like mold, mildew, and also termites. So get it fixed.
Yeah, don't let that leave it in your house.
That's right.
And as you look at this, anything you touch on this is going to break, and then you'll have a bigger problem. They do it every day. Doesn't take them no time flat to come in and replace these. And those handles, I'll tell you, those right there, they wear out after a while there, and they just spin. You can't get your water on. And you want to shower bad.
We had one in the shower that just broke off. And so, before we could get it fixed, we had to use the screwdriver to turn it on and off because, that was the only way to do it. It's fixed now, but goodness.
Every now and then you need a pair. If your shower experience involves vice grips, you need to call Galen.
That's right. Yes. Give them a call, though. They'll fix it for you.
Yeah. Now, this is a neat thing there. If your drains are clogged, they'll come out and clean it. They do not charge you to come out, to where most plumbing places are going to tag another $100 on it for just showing up without doing anything. $125 to clean them out, 60-day warranty flat. That's all right. It is.
I know you husbands that complain about your wives' hair in the drain. Yeah. That's what's wrong with it right there. If it's not draining, your shower's not draining, that's what's wrong with it.
If you need a water heater replaced, which is very confusing because there's a lot of pipes, there's electricity involved, they'll fix it for you. Again, toilets, the whole 9 yards. It is Master Flow Plumbing, 36 years. They're licensed, insured. They'll take care of everything. Anything plumbing, they fix it. 228-870-0471. Again, from Hattiesburg all the way to the coast there, they handle those things. What you think?
I think it's a good thing. I'm glad they can handle it.
I was making sure you wasn't daydreaming over the somebody
No,
hadn't had a bath.
I was looking at the other comment.
Let's see. Okay, then. Yeah, we'll leave that alone, too. Yeah. Let's see here. A few more stories. And I know we're running a little long this morning. This happened in Knoxville yesterday. A student showed up with a gun, shot at a cop. The student was taken out. Sad, sad news. To my knowledge, those are the only ones that were hurt yesterday in that. Senseless, to say the least. Here's one for you. As the pandemic has taken its toll on different businesses, this company has announced Arlic Light, Pacific Theaters are shutting down all of their locations permanently. Big business, and they just can't afford to keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, how long can they keep postponing the James Bond movie to come out to save theaters?
Oh, yeah.
It's on and on and on and on. That one has given up the fight in that. Now, I think people see something, and it is an unidentified flying object. That don't make it from outer space just because it's unidentified. But as we see, the Pentagon confirms the video of the UFOs buzzing warships in 219 is real. Mm-hmm. So
I need to look at that because I have not seen the video.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
Let's pull that picture up.
That looks like a blimp, doesn't it?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. It does look like a blimp. On our little emojis on our phones, they have slipped in. Every now and then you'll look back on them because I don't do them a whole lot, but they'll slip in a new one on.
Yeah, what's the latest one?
We have a UFO now on ours.
Really?
We do.
You look at that picture. What can you honestly tell me that is?
That's like just a dot to me.
Yeah. You couldn't technically tell me that is from another planet. It doesn't look to me. That's the ship that was buzzed.
Yeah.
Looks like a big cloud in the sky.
When they say buzzed, I mean, what are they talking about?
Buzz would be zoomed in and.
Yeah, I didn't know if it sent some kind of signal to it or just zoomed around it or what. But
yeah, the pictures do not convince me that it was life on another planet. Is all I'm saying on that. It is definitely unidentified, and with that, they're not lying.
You would think if it was something to do with the military, though, like any kind of military craft that they've built or military training or something, that it be in the Navy, that they would be kind of in coordination with each other.
You would.
You know what I'm saying? Like if, we'd say, oh, if you see something in that area, it's just us doing this training mission or, So I don't know.
Here's something, whenever, and I taught this time, and I understand they're trying to get out of this, but when I was in safety, I taught a class on if you're involved in a wreck and you hit a power line and it hits your car, stay put, don't get out. This happened in a wreck yesterday in Florida. A girl, 17-year-old, hit a power line. The car catches on fire. She opens the car door and gets out and is instantly killed. She stepped on a hot wire.
But
Horrible.
if your car's on fire,
Yeah,
you don't have time to think.
And she
That's
jumped
awful.
out, and bless her heart, that's her.
That's awful.
So condolences to her family as we look at things that have just sad that can't be explained. Our next story, sometimes you ought to just maybe stay to what you're good at. Maybe you're a great actor. That's where you ought to stay. Dwayne "The Rock" is considering running for president of the United States. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I mean, I think he seems like a nice, good-hearted person.
Yeah, and I do too.
Like, just from what I've seen. I mean, of course, you don't know anybody till you're around them, actually. Or, you know what I'm saying?
But he's got a
Can't
rags
tell
to
us.
riches story.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm not saying he couldn't be,
You think he'd be a good one, though?
I don't know. I mean, I can't say. I think he might be. I'm not going to rule anybody out that's got a positive attitude.
He's positive,
to unite
but
the country and to do better.
never owned a
so.
company.
Yeah.
I'm after the guy who's
I
led.
I guess I would be in question, but I feel like if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris can do it, anybody can do it.
And we don't know what we're headed for, do we? Just saying that. Something to consider there. As you get ready to make sure, as we go into these cooler nights, you're going to be turning back on your heat. And, well, let's make sure it works. And our friends over at Sanders Gas is there for you to check on that AC and your heat. As it goes back, those heat pumps sometimes don't work right. Needs a little bit of a coolant. They'll fix that for you. Get it all going. They'll do a checkup, make sure it's working perfectly. If you need a new one, they can install it for you. Also, as we go into these spring months, don't be the one that doesn't have electricity in the neighborhood, especially if you've got elderly that live with you that, really need that electricity.
Yeah.
It's worth every dime to do this. They'll come out to your home, look at your house, determine how many air conditioners, refrigerators you need as to what size to put in your home. Very, very affordable, runs off propane. You will no longer have to worry about getting in your truck when the power's out and trying to drive around and find a gas station that's open. It'll run off your tank.
Yeah. That's really good.
Generators.
Worth the money.
Call them at 693-4054. Again, that's the good folks at Sanders Heat and Air. They'll take care of you there. Sanders Gas, 22nd Avenue, across from
The police department. Yeah. It's kind of catty cornering across from the police department. Up the street from the new Children's Museum.
You're just not going to say the old mall like I would, are you?
Oh, well, it's not there anymore.
I know. That's why I say the old mall.
The old mall. I used to work in the old mall.
Where'd you work
I
at?
the Village Fair Mall. I worked at Traditional Jewelers.
That was out in the middle,
Right
wasn't
next
it?
to McRae's.
Yeah.
Right out of the door of McRae's to the left right there is where I worked.
So did you go down and throw the pennies in a wishing well?
Yes, I did. We used to always do that
What
when I was a
was
kid.
that?
Do you remember there was a little, I'm going to say a little person, because I don't know what you're supposed to say nowadays, but do you remember he used to sit down there and lift weights?
No, I didn't see him.
Okay, and then there was a man down there that had a parrot on his shoulder that
Missed
he talked to the bird all the time. Yeah, it was some different people.
What was that juice store that used to be in there?
Orange Julius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that well.
Yeah, they had the best, I don't even know what you call it. They were Orange Julius, like orange shakes or something. They were really, really good.
It did taste good.
They
But
did.
been forever since I thought about
Lemonade.
that.
We had a Chick-fil-A in the mall down there. It was all kind of stuff. I
Now
miss
that-
it though. Kenny Shoes. Do you remember Kenny Shoes?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we used to go down there and that's when the jelly bean shoes. You remember those?
Yes,
you
I
probably
do.
don't remember.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
But anyway,
The only
reminiscing.
remnant left of that is the Winn-Dixie building back in the corner there that doesn't look like it's got much hope.
I wish I could have gone in it before they tore it down.
Just to take a look.
Just to walk through it. Of course, I'm sure. Like I think homeless people have been in there, and
Yeah, it might not have turned out too well for you.
probably not. But anyway.
Somebody did post a video on YouTube. You can Google that Village Fair Mall, and
where
somebody.
they were looking through the windows and stuff.
I think they actually went inside
Oh,
with
really?
the camera there.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
It's on YouTube, so check that out.
Oh yeah, because I remember. Let's see what all was down there. Dress shops that my grandmother used to shop in, and there was a shoe store that we used to go in down there too. That gosh, what was it? Buster Brown shoes and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, memories.
Little Elvis for you this morning. All right, we want to say thank you for dropping by and spending a few minutes with us today. It's been a lot of fun this morning, and we thank you. Candace is off to go fix somebody's hair and make them look lovely.
I am. I'm going to see Miss Barbara this morning.
And if you need a haircut, how do they get in touch with you to get one?
You can call 601-482-5800. That's at Voila Salon. And we have 5 girls there that's willing to take walk-ins or make you an appointment.
Well, there you go. Again, thank y'all so much. We'll be back in the morning, and I've got all kinds of news stories to share with you throughout today because it's just getting started, as we say.
Yes.
We'll watch the weather closely as the possibility of severe thunderstorms move in to the south of Meridian, Clark County, Jasper County. Y'all be on the lookout late and into tomorrow. More rain, up to 2 inches for us.
Yes, Wednesday, our weekly
Yeah.
storm day.
It does have to come, doesn't it?
It does.
All right. We'll be back. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate you.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by